Hello, and welcome to the A to Z Analytics channel, where I plan to share my knowledge of data analytics and business intelligence through Microsoft Excel and Tableau. I hope you enjoy this video and learn something valuable. If you hit the subscribe button and enable notifications, you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded, which I'll be doing on a weekly basis. So today I wanted to cover how dates are handled in Excel, how dates are formatted, how to convert dates to the correct format, how to include the time in dates in their calculations, and show you some examples along the way. So how are dates handled in Excel? Excel generally uses a date structure called the 1900 date system. In this system, 1st of January 1900 is considered day 1 and represented by the number 1. Dates after the 1st of January 1900 are represented by the number of days which have elapsed since then. So if we look at my spreadsheet, we have the date 1st of January 1900 in the left column as we recognize it, and in the right column the numerical value Excel assigns to it. With the cell D4 selected, we can see the date in the formula bar and the number formatting in the ribbon, which shows it's formatted as a short date. With cell E4 selected, we can see the formula in the formula bar references the cell containing the date, i.e. they are the same values. If we look at the format, it is formatted to a number with 2 decimal places. We can see if we look down that list, if I was to change it to the short day format, the cell would show 1st of the 1st 1900. We can also review the other formatting results. If we add a new row and add the date 31st of the 1st 1900 and then drag down the formula, and we can see that that date is represented by the value 31. Now doing the same for the 1st of the 1st 1901, when we drag down the formula we see the result 367. Due to compatibility reasons, the year 1900 was treated as a leap year, which is not true, but has been the case since the 1980s. It is unlikely to impact your calculations and would cause other undesirable issues if the behaviour was corrected. Now if we had today's date using the function today and drag down the formula again, we can see that over 40,000 days have elapsed since the 1st of January 1900. If I divide that number by 365.25, which is the average number of days in a 4-year period, the result is approximately 120 years. Given it's 2020, that would make sense. If you use Excel for Macintosh, you may come across another date structure called the 1904 date system, which is the default for Macintosh. This works the same as the above, but the system begins on the 1st of January 1904. This was because earlier Macs did not support dates before 1st of January 1904. So how are dates formatted? If we look at my next sheet, we can see several lists of dates. 1st of January 2000, they all look the same. This can be confusing when you begin using the dates, but it is down to the formatting. They are all currently formatted as short dates. I can change the formatting in the next column to be a custom number format, and I do that by going into the number drop down and selecting more number formats. Here we can see that it's currently set as a date, and the sample shows the value which is in our cell. But what I want to do is have a custom with date, hour, and minute, which is not an option in this list. Similarly with time, it only gives the time format, but I'm going to give a custom format. In here we see the different types of dates, formats, and a number of other formats. These are dates down here, and these are hours. And we can see here there is one that combines date, month, year, hour, and minutes. So if I select that, you can see that my sample shows the 1st of January 2000 and a time of midnight. I'm going to select OK. We can now see that each row represents a different time. Midnight, 1 AM, 1 minute past 12, and midnight again. If I select the next column, I'm going to apply a different custom format. This time I want to see the same, but also the seconds, as we can see in the header row. Once again, I'll go to more number formats. And I'll go to custom and find the same format that I used last time. But this time I'm going to modify it by adding a colon and 2 S's, which in my sample you can see adds the seconds. And now when we click OK, we can see that the date formatting has been updated to include the seconds, and the value which in this column showed as midnight is actually 1 second past midnight. Now if I select the last column, I'm going to convert that into a decimal number with 0 decimal places. And we can see that they are all the same number. As the day value changes by 1 for each day represented, rounding the decimal down to 0 essentially shows that they are the same day. As we increase the decimal places, we can see that the fractional time, hours, minutes and seconds will appear as their fractional amounts of a whole day. If you're using dates in your calculations, these fractions may throw out your calculations without you realizing why, and you may need to investigate the number formatting to double check that. I'm going to show you how to do calculation a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is recap on some of those points and introduce you to the calculations. So as we began a discussion, I talked about how the 1900 date system represents date numerically on the number of days elapsed since the 1st of January 1900. With this being the case, to calculate the date x number of days from another date, you just add x to the current date. For example, if I wanted to know the date 30 days after the 1st of January, I would just add 30 to 1st of January 2000. Now if today was the 1st of January 2020, this would be represented by Excel using a number of approximately 44,000. We could work this out by multiplying the number of years, 120, by 365, which would equal approximately 44,000. We would then need to add a day for each leap year in that period. It's quite simple really, so if today was equal to 40,000, tomorrow is equal to today plus 1. So adding and subtracting days is quite simple, but when it comes to parts of a day, it gets a bit more confusing. I've written out these numbers here, which represents the different fractions of a day. So we all know that 1 hour is 1/24th of a day. Because there are 24 hours in a day, 1 hour is 1/24th of that. 1 minute is 1/60th of an hour, and that hour is 1/24th of a day. Similarly, we can carry it on to 1 second, where 1 second is 1/60th of a minute, which is 1/60th of an hour, which is 1/24th of a day. Therefore, if midnight today equaled 40,000, 1 AM on the same day, which is 1 hour later, is 40,000 plus 1/24. If we wanted to know 1 minute past midnight on the same day, it'd be 40,000 plus 1/60/24. And if we wanted to know 1 second past midnight on the same day, it would be 40,000 plus 1/60/60/24. We can run through this for the start date of 1st of January 2000. Here I have my start date, which is the 1st of January 2000 at midnight. The formula, as I've written in the other column, would be plus 1/24. And this gives me 1 hour past or 1 AM. I can do the same again. plus 1 over 60 over 24. And the same again for seconds, plus 1 over 60 over 60 over 24. And now we can see I have the results I wanted. Now if you wanted to add different hours, minutes or seconds, then you can just vary the 1 in this part of the calculation. If you wanted to add hours and minutes and seconds, then you can just extend this formula to add the hour, add the minute and add the seconds. Obviously you wouldn't need to add the base value in multiple times. So if we wanted to calculate 1, 15 and 30, we begin with our starting time and then add 1 over 24 plus 15 over 60 over 24 plus 30 over 60 over 60 over 24. And that will give us 1:15 AM and 30 seconds. Now you could of course use a name range or constant if you have watched my video on name ranges. In that case you would create a name constant for the hours in a day, minutes in an hour and seconds in a minute. And you could use these name constants as your divisors and make your formulas more readable and take your spreadsheets to the next level. Also, as I mentioned earlier, there may be some rounding issues when including times in calculations. It may be the way that they are calculated and formatted which may not make the difference apparent. There are a number of rounding functions you can use, and I may run through these in a future video and also cover off the named constants in that. Please leave a comment and hit the subscribe button if that interests you. There are also lots of formulas for extracting date parts, combining date parts, converting dates and calculating dates, which I would like to run through at a later stage. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and learnt from it. I'll be grateful if you could hit the like button to give the video a thumbs up, as it really helps spread the word. If you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe so you can be notified of when more videos are uploaded. You'll also find more videos if you head over to my channel. If you have any questions, feedback or topics you would like covered, then please leave a comment below and I'll respond. I love feedback and learning from others. All the best, Aaron.